Zombie video games can be a hit or a miss for me. For one, it's always a pleasure to go out and kill as much zombies as you please with cool weapons and environmental hazards. But however, some or even most zombie games can lead to being cliche with the same storyline over and over, as well as a generic open sandbox to explore. And trust me, after watching a ton of zombie movies back in the day, it's almost like nothing excites me anymore. But what does get me a little bit cheerful inside was playing through my very first zombie game I ever got to experience, being Dead Rising 2. Oh wait. Technically, it was Call of Duty Black Ops 1 with its zombie mode, but I suppose we'll have to check that out another time. This game is the sequel to the critical success of Dead Rising 1, but instead of being developed by Studio One, Capcom decided to move the reins over to Blue Castle Games. For at the time, they were mostly known for their baseball games, so it was a totally different ball game, haha, and a new approach for them. The only question remains is, did they actually did a better job at it? Let's play Dead Rising 2 and find out. And just to give you a bit of a spoiler, yeah, pretty much. The story begins at a place called Fortune City, Nevada. Think of it like Disneyland, but the theme of the park is 18+ with its casinos and adult stores. The main character, being Chuck Green, is participating in a reality TV show called Terror is Reality. A show where contestants partake in deadly games against the zombies to earn a cash prize. The reason why he's in it is so he can earn enough cash to buy a drug called Zombrex for his little daughter Katie. Katie has been bitten by a zombie a while back, and Zombrex helps delay the transformation process. However, she will need to take it at least once every 24 hours, or else she will turn. After the Terror is Reality game show, someone set the remaining zombies being kept for the show free and start to terrorize Fortune City. A massive outbreak is going down, but Chuck and Katie manage to make it to the bunker with the other survivors. Later on, it was revealed on the news that Chuck Green was the one who set the zombies free, but knows he didn't do it and someone framed him. And with Sullivan explaining it'll take 3 days for the military to arrive, Chuck has 3 days to prove his innocence by uncovering the facts. And along with Stacy, the leader of Cure, and Rebecca, the news reporter, all pitch in to help out as they try to clear Chuck's name and escape Fortune City. I remember playing this game so many times back in the day, and despite the amount of replays, I honestly forgot about the plot here. I think it's due to the story being forgettable and somewhat uninspiring. There's not much cool moments to look back onto story-wise because I've already experienced those moments in past zombie movies that, like I've said, nothing excites me anymore. But if there is one cool thing about Dead Rising 2's story is that Chuck Green himself is such a fucking badass character. This dude is willing to risk it all by killing zombies and try to help the civilians as best as he can, while doing so, doing everything in his power to protect Katie. Just like a father should when looking after their own daughter. It's great storytelling. In terms of characters, there's a lot of cool personalities which we'll get to in a later topic, but there are a couple of characters that are bland, like Stacy for example. She's basically Oracle from Batman. All she does is sit around with her cameras to watch what's happening and notify Chuck when something goes down. She doesn't exactly have anything to stand out compared to most characters. Another thing I feel strange about is Dead Rising 2 can be extremely horny at times.
I was hoping for a better ride from you, Chuck. But maybe you just don't know how to handle the tight curves. The ladies were a little disappointed in your performance tonight, Chuck.
They ran off with all the equipment. I guess they just didn't want it bad enough.
You've got some interesting skills for a reporter.
It's usually shoved right into my face with every chance it gets with its one-liners and sexual jokes. I suppose it depends on the person if you enjoy this type of media, but I'm not a fan of it. In a way, the developers could have made the game edgy without the use of sexual tension. If I was to break it down, the gameplay is where it shines more than the story. because this is a second installment, it does improve on a few features like being able to have multiple save files and a better AI when following you. The gameplay goes as follows. As you go out of the bunker, you can rescue people, continue the storyline through the case files, and of course, killing zombies. Something I liked was that if you by any chance fail to reach the next plotline or fail to give Katie her Zombrex, then it's game over, but it technically doesn't end. You can reload your save file to try again, or continue playing through the game without the story. It's sorta a punishment for not completing the story, but in a way, when you're going out there killing zombies, I can't complain about that. You explore around Fortune City and visit different areas like casinos, rooftops, and even the underground. I do enjoy the parts where you are doing your own thing and checking each casino out, even if it does seem tedious seeing the same casinos over and over with the slot machines. Throughout the 3-day cycle, you get information from Stacy that she saw something within the monitors and asks you to check it out. It can be seen if anyone needs help or if you notice anything strange that might be dangerous. With rescuing the remaining survivors, some will immediately come with you, but others will need some persuasion, like asking for money or asking you to dress in a certain way. And hell, there's even one person that tells you that he needs Zombrex in order to continue the side mission. It'll all seem overwhelming at first, thinking that you have to save everybody in 3 days, but as I've mentioned with Persona 5 Royal, just take your time. And plus, you don't technically have to save everybody if it means sacrificing money or Zombrex. It can be pretty annoying going back and forward to finding someone and bringing them to the safe zone, and even though I've mentioned that the AI has improved, but they can be too damn slow at times. When you're about to enter a different area, you have to stand and wait for them to catch up, because if you don't and just go on, they'll be stuck, so you have to go back and wait for them. That can be frustrating. And it does feel like I can't rely on traveling with them from A to B without telling them to keep up. And as for the psychopaths you see within Dead Rising 2, they're pretty cool, and you always see a different personality. You have a motocross rival, a deranged chef, and a psychotic mascot to name a few. These boss fights can be tough, but there is a strategy to get around as long as you have powerful weapons, some drinks, and save often, which is important, then you'll be just fine. Don't be like me who didn't save in a couple of hours ago and end up dying, so I had to do it all over again. Sad emoji face. While I'm at it with the bosses, the music while fighting them is great and sounds so awesome. I do have a soft spot for rock and it works extremely well. I say that the entire OST is pretty good and in some ways underrated. Not only you have rock, but also music that plays during exploration that sounds like elevator music. It's catchy and so smooth to listen to. I almost find it hilarious that these types of music plays while a zombie outbreak is occurring. This game features a level up system, and each time you progress to the next level, you unlock more features and attributes for Chuck, like increasing speed, how much he can carry, his strength attack, and his movesets like dropkicking and DDTs. The biggest highlight to me about Dead Rising 2 is the use of weapons. There's a lot of items to obtain and bash zombies' heads in. You can use a chainsaw, an axe, a sledgehammer, a baseball bat, and plenty more. And I mean plenty. You can even use an item you wouldn't expect to be a weapon like a sign, a pot plant, and a massager. In other words, from Captain Quark, the Happy Platypus. Yes, even that can be a weapon. Do you see why this game can be horny? And depending on the right weapons you have, you can combine them together to create an even powerful weapon than before. There's lots to experiment here, and the game encourages you to do so. The satisfaction of creating two into one and using it on zombies is nearly orgasmic. Other than that, that is pretty much all to say about this game, other than a few minor bugs that'll appear, and the ability to do co-op in story mode and partake in multiplayer. Unfortunately, I haven't tried out co-op or online multiplayer, so I can't really comment on that, but I could imagine that they were pretty popular at the time. And that was Dead Rising 2. Coming back to this game, I feel like it's a pretty underrated video game and perhaps underappreciated. As I've stated, any type of media that included zombies doesn't interest in me nowadays, but playing Dead Rising 2 back as an early teenager, which was my first zombie game mind you, my jaw did drop when I saw so many zombies in one area. It was really cool from my point of view, and in a way, Dead Rising 2 has earned a place in my heart. It's not perfect by any means, but just being able to go out there and kill as many zombies as you see fit was definitely enjoyable. And while the story can be cliche and the repetitive backwards and forwards of saving a civilian, the combat gameplay at the end of the day is where Dead Rising 2 truly shines. Combining weapons together is satisfying, Chuck Green being such a badass, and I enjoyed the Psychopath boss fights. If you like zombie video games, then maybe give this game a go, and form your own opinion if you like it or not. So with that said, I'll be giving Dead Rising 2 a score of 7 out of 10. This game is begged to be played for multiple playthroughs, and I'm looking forward to experiencing the 3-day cycle all over again, just so I can kick some zombie butt. But anyways, that's going to wrap up this video. I thank you all so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to leave a like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. And with all that said, my name is Cheese and Crackers, I thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.